Welcome! I'm Jade of Jaded Reader, and today I'm going over my December TBR. So I usually only do TBR videos for readathons because I love promoting readathons and I hate TBRs, so it seemed like a nice compromise. But I have found myself in a more structured mood and I felt like a TBR might actually be a fun thing to do. So if I'm getting enjoyment out of it, I'm just gonna roll with it. Speaking of rolling with it, I have a favor to ask. Roll with this, please. You are going to find some dysfunction in my upcoming videos as my hair will be changing from video to video. I had some pre-filmed videos that I'm really excited to share with you guys, but then I dyed my hair and I realized while I was editing that you were going to notice. I dyed my hair a little bit darker. It's not a huge deal. Many people might not even notice, but I did dye it. So those videos aren't old. They're just a little behind. And I wanted to make sure I got a TBR video out before December so people had chances to put some of these books on their TBR if they so please. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into my December TBR. First up is the book that I think is probably the most December-y on my TBR as far as winter warmness goes, and that is The Winter of the Witch by Catherine Arden. This is the third and final installment in the Winter Night trilogy, and I have been enjoying it so much. I don't want it to end, especially since a lot of people have told me that this one is their favorite. Having the third book in a series be the favorite is always, in my opinion, the goal. I am totally okay with giving the first in a series a 3.5 if I know that I'm getting a 5 out of the last one, because that build up is just how it should be. So I am expecting pretty good things, and if you have not heard of the Winter Night trilogy, this is Baron the Nightingale, the first in that series. I've talked about this series a lot recently on my channel, so I'm not gonna go super into it. Just know it's about a girl in the cold Russian wilderness and about her ambition and drive to be more than is expected of her, and her battling against sexist and religious prejudice. So that is the really summed up way of saying this story is so beautiful and fantastic. I really hope you check it out. I'm also looking forward to the romance really blossoming in this one. I actually have a video where I do make mention of the romance in this, so if you're interested in knowing how I feel about the romance, besides the fact that I'm excited for it to blossom, you can go ahead and check out the video up there where I go over my favorite love interests, and I talk a little bit about the love interest in here and just how smitten I am. After that is a book that I've had on my TBR for a while, and I've actually started it and really enjoyed it, but some high profile books came out, such as The Fires of Vengeance and Hollowpox. A lot of books that I had planned on reading got set aside in order to read those, and while I am sad to move on, I'm really excited to read this book because I had loved what I had started, and that is Black Veins by Asha Monet. This is a found family urban fantasy where the main character's family is attacked by magic, and she goes on a road trip in an old beat up yellow van along with some collected new friends, and you're supposed to have a lot of fun character dynamics while she goes to save her family. I obviously don't know much more else because I haven't read it, but I have had this recommended so many times on so many trusted channels. I know I'm going to enjoy it, and I actually had already read the first chapter and was very much so intrigued, so I'm looking forward to continuing it, and I will definitely be doing that in December. The next book I really wanted to get to sooner, but I just could not fit it in, and that is The Teen Killer Club. This is by Lily Sparks. I am really intrigued by the plot of this and how it starts. This follows our main character, Signal Deer, who has been framed for her best friend's murder and is sent to a specialized, experimental prison camp for teens who are trained to be assassins. The way she got into this program is simply because she was framed, so she doesn't necessarily belong here, but from the first chapter, because I did start this just to see if I wanted to continue it, I definitely do, and this main character for sure has edge to her, so I'm really excited to start this. I was actually contacted by Lily Sparks in order to read this, so this is an advanced reader's copy. However, this book did just come out in November, so go ahead and pick one up if you would like to also read it. It's very short. It's actually only about 250 pages, and I want to see all that she can pack in. The beginning was really intriguing, and I am definitely interested in the premise. I think that's kind of the only contemporary I truly deep down enjoy. is contemporary where something awful is happening to our main character. The other reason this book was on my mind is because Lily Sparks' Instagram is incredibly intriguing. Every single time I would click onto Instagram, she always had some weird, edgy promotional material for the book that was just like incredibly unique and made me really like adhere to the idea of reading it. And I really hope that I'm going to enjoy this book as much as I have enjoyed the first chapter as well as the promotional material for it. On the topic of being emailed by authors who are absolutely joys, I was contacted by H.R. Moore, who has a new book coming out called Queen of Empire, and I was given an advanced reader's copy for the December 1st release. I'm really hoping that I can get to this one, but just to give you an idea of what it is in case you also want to pick it up, this is a fantasy that has been said to be read like a contemporary. So much like Crescent City, it takes place in a fantasy world, but it feels like an urban setting. And in this world is a girl named Anita. There are 3 types of magic systems, which I believe is body, mind, and spirit. And Anita's magical ability has to do with body, so she is in physical peak strength, and she is somewhat of a prodigy in her magical system, which draws the attention of 2 individuals who also have different affiliations with body, mind, and spirit. Everyone has said in the reviews that if you love love triangles, you're going to love this love triangle, which I am guessing they mean by that is a love arrow where you have 2 people interested in one person and that one person interested in 2 people. Not that those 2 people are interested in each other, but I'm not entirely sure, and I'm getting off on a tangent, so I'm just gonna skip that part and move on. I'm really excited to pick this one up. It seemed incredibly interesting, especially since Anita needs to use her prodigy-like abilities to save a friend, but somehow in saving her friend, it might end up destabilizing her entire community. It sounds really good, and it's supposed to be super fast-paced with a bunch of twists and a love triangle. And I do not dislike love triangles. I actually really enjoy them. I grew up reading Arthurian legend. Lancelot and Arthur are kind of my thing. Totally cool with a love triangle as long as it's done well. I will go ahead and leave a link for the 2 new releases that I mentioned down below. And I thank H.R. Moore for reaching out, as it's definitely a book that seems up my alley. Bam! Another sequel. This is Beast Warrior by Nahoko Uehashi. And this is actually the sequel to Beast Player, which is a favorite of mine. I am smitten with this book, and I am so excited to read the next one. The first book in the series follows a girl named Erin, who while living with her mother raises Toto, which are a type of water serpent. But when things go awry and the Toto start to die, Erin is separated from her mother and goes to live first on a bee farm, but also then goes to an academy. I don't want to give you too much, I just want to give you the pace lines so that you understand that this is a very slow-paced, quiet story with a lot of intrigue and mystical creatures. This is a fantastic mystical creature book. If that is something that you really enjoy, it not only has the Toto, but it has something called the Royal Beasts, which are like half wolf griffin type creatures. I also just found out that there is an anime for this. I know that it's a translated manga adaptation, but there's an anime as well. So I really, really want to read Beast Warrior, and then I want to watch that anime. Now, I do want to go into this book knowing practically nothing, so I can't give you a whole bunch of information, especially since I don't want to spoil anything from the first book. What I will tell you is something really intrigued me in this is that it takes place 10 years after what happened in the first book. So this might be a more adult novel, where the other one registered more as YA due to the main character's age, though those 2 things are not always synonymous. It definitely read more as YA. If this book's going to change at all in the pacing and the storyline, if the cover is any indication, which yes, I did do an entire video on book covers, and of course this one is mentioned. I'll link that up above. If this cover is any indication of the story, I'm in for a pretty wild ride, and I'm very excited. So that is my last chosen book on my TBR, where I'm just picking up random books that I really want to read. And then I do have a couple obligation books, but I'm very excited for them, so let's get to it. First up, I am one of the co-hosts for the Stormlight Archive Readathon. Read along, not sure exactly what the difference is, let me know down below. And we are are now on to the third book in the series. I can't actually believe how fast I'm going through this series. I know that it's slow for many people, but going through these like 1,500 page books has been a journey. Anyway, I'm deviating from the point. The point is I am now on Oathbringer. This is by Brandon Sanderson and is the third installation in the Stormlight Archive series. We are going to have a live show on my channel, meaning Kaz from Little Book Owl, Catherine from X Catherine Reads, and Becca from Becca in the Books are coming to my channel, little ol' me, and we are going to be talking about the second book in the series. So if you are part of this read along or would love to join us or have just read The Words of Radiance and would like to talk to us about it, I will put a link down below to the live show as it's already set up and ready to go, as well as putting the date and time right here because you know I forgot. You know I have absolutely no idea what my weekend plans are, but that's coming up soon? I think it's soon. As far as Oathbringer goes, I have no idea what I'm in for, but the last book really picked up. I have my initial thoughts of the first book in a vlog that I'll link right here, and I have to admit it's been a gradual love for me of this series. The first book was really slow to warm to me, but this second book just took it off in a whole other direction, and I had so much fun reading it. I won't say much more because I want to talk during the live show. It was a lot of fun, and it makes me very anxious and excited to start Oathbringer. So I'm going to start that on December 1st as soon as I possibly can, and I hope that I enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the last one because the last one was some good stuff. I'll also toss up the fact that the fourth one just came out, and if you're following our readathon, you know that we have a Discord that I will again link down below, but it's a lot of fun and allows you to read ahead. So if you are reading ahead and you are on Rhythm of War, you are completely accepted to join the Discord. But the Discord has been lots of fun. I love catching up on what people are talking about and saying, and it's really spoiler free over there, so no matter where you are in the Stormlight Archive Cosmereverse, you're guaranteed to have fun in the Discord. So again, it is linked down below. The last book I am actually specifically reading during Yule, Christmas time. Yule for me will be December 21st, and that will lead in through the rest of December, in which I also celebrate Christmas with my family. I'm rocking my Star Wars Christmas sweater just for that reason. So I have been buddy reading with Sarah at NovelSarahndipity the entire Court of Thorns and Roses series. This is for the ACOTAR read along going on with Katie and Madison, who I will link down below. I have been honored enough to be on not one but two of their live shows. The first one is already up, the second one is coming up in December, and I'm definitely excited to talk about the second book, A Court of Mist and Fury, because that was definitely my favorite in the series. Sarah and I did end up reading ahead of the read along because we kind of got excited, and I really hate to admit that I got excited about A Court of Thorns and Roses. Like, I want you to know I'm mad how excited I was to continue reading. And for December, specifically for Yule time, I will be reading what I'm going to call the Christmas special, A Court of Frost and Starlight, which is 3.1 in the series. I have heard terrible things about this book. I am hoping that because I've heard such horrible, awful, terrible things, that I will go in with such low standards that this book is gonna rock my socks off. I'm also expecting it to be a book about nothing, because that's what a Christmas special is, and I'm really kind of counting on that. So if this is like an exciting, fast-paced, well-developed book, I'm gonna be mad because I am expecting to read complete and total garbage for the Christmas season. I will also be buddy reading A Court of Frost and Starlight with Sarah at NovelSarahndipity, and she has had some great videos on this, so I'm gonna link her channel down below. Go check her out and check out all of her thoughts on it, because while I have slowly been working through a reaction video of the entire series, Sarah's been actually giving her thoughts as they come up, and she has some great videos on it. And that is my TBR. So I have 4 physical books, 1 ebook, and 2 audiobooks that I'm hoping to get to through December, and I have some other videos coming up talking about my limitations in what I'm able to read right now. Look out for that. Let me know what you are reading in the month of December and how you felt about A Court of Frost and Starlight, because that'll just excite me. And regardless, I hope you are enjoying the sun or more stars wherever you are, and until next time, bye! No hoku uahashe uahashi. Boom! Boom. I don't understand. Hoku uahashe. Uahashi! Not uahashe! That's an I! Wondering if this bone. You are a book. We are going to be talking about the second book in the series, which was... I don't want to look at my phone. I want to just know it. Final Empire. No, that's not even the same series. Oh, I should just be able to type in the word storm and it should know. Words of Radiance. I'll go ahead and calculate the amount of pages. You know what? It's as long as I'm not gonna calculate the amount of pages. I'm not doing math for a hobby. And I am buddy reading, what is it called? I don't know the name of this series. Is it just called Court of Thorns and Roses series? Court of Thorns and Roses. It just put what? It literally just put what? Let's try that again. Court of Thorns. Dyslexia. It is. The whole series is called Court of Thorns and Roses. That's so uncreative. Who speaks? Not me.